Oh, we're back in. We should be able to get this on screen. The game has loaded. And we're ready to go. Hopefully this time all the settings are correct. And at the moment no one's DC'd, so it looks like we're off to a good start. We'll be able to get ourselves stuck in now for game 4. Well, first ban from ig. I'll see if they go for a similar flow as before. There we go. As we said, Andy, if you're going to break it up, you're going to take away the Shadow Demon. And this is, you know, it's going to force Newbee to do something a little bit different.
Yeah, I think that's good. Because the closest games they've had SC Luna, pretty much.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that, you know, EG, they had a little bit of a break between that game. They're going to ban out the Drow as well, which is also a counter to the lineup that they ran in Game 2, for obvious reasons, because if you have this Drow strat and a ton of ranged heroes in lane, then it's very difficult to actually to win the lanes. Okay, we got some speed drafting going on.
Indeed, this time, yeah, Slardar Lifestealer, Andy, gets through.
Yeah, and the IO does as well. I don't think we've seen that the entire series either.
No, so. And obviously EG before, they were picking IO Omni Knight, like, loads
all
of
the
games.
time.
Yeah. So I wonder if they'll do that again here.
I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah.
GA is great against Slardar and Lifestealer. Magic Immunity prevents the crush. The only downside to it is that when you don't have GA, you can obviously amp through spell immunity. So you're still going to have a pretty good amount of physical damage to worry about. And that can be something that really hinders Omni Knight lineups. So I'm not sure if they're going to pick it now, especially considering it would reveal their entire support cast. But yeah, it could be in the future.
It's going to be the Axe pickup here for Uni. We know we can have a very, very impressive game on it. But, I mean, as you said already, Lifestealer and Slardar, they can play around an Axe, and they can kill the Axe, can't they?
Yeah, they absolutely can. It all comes down to who gets the opener. That's the most important thing. If Axe opens on them, it's bad for them. If they open on Axe, it's bad for Axe. Because you take so much damage in the stun duration if you have Ampon and a Lifestealer beating on you that unless you have some sort of outside help, you're just too low health to fight at that point. It can be tricky, but it can also be very good.
The ban from Evil Geniuses now. They've seen the Lifestealer Slardar. They're banning out the Alchemist. This is something I think they've done in pretty much every game this series against Newbee. Just not wanting to allow the game to get out of hand with anything like an Alk or a Naga pick, of course. That's another hero that we're seeing consistently being banned out this series.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're gonna... they would probably ban Naga anyway. Okay, there's the Omni ban.
And I absolutely understand, because this is what EG like to pick, especially, you know, with the Axe. There's very much the potential to go back and pick up the Omni as well.
Yeah.
But EG do, of course, yeah. Getting that IO through first, something that they've not been allowed to do so far this series, is still, you know, that's big for EG. They love to run the IO. They pretty much, I think they take it anytime it's not banned as first pick, it seems, at the moment.
Well, I mean, they have 2 amazing IO players, so
yeah.
There's no reason not to. It's just a hero that's well within their comfort zone. I was thinking about maybe ET, but then I realized that Slardar and Lifestealer both itemize in a way that doesn't really care that much about Elder Titan. Like, you want to pick him into Agi cores more than anything else, or you want to pick a heavy magical damage lineup where you can abuse the aura. But in this situation, I don't know if it's really that good, because Lifestealer pretty much destroys Elder Titan, because you just rage and you kill him, and Slardar is pretty much the same thing. You get a blink initiation and you kill him. So I'm kind of wondering what the second support option is going to be here.
Do you feel they could maybe go for the Venge pick?
You mean EG?
Yeah, EG, yeah.
So
they have some sort of a save for whoever Lifestealer and Slardar jump on?
It's not a bad choice. The risk that you run is you end up becoming like this martyr who just literally always dies in every single fight. But the minus armor is nice, and having the defensive capability is nice as well. Yeah, it's possible. The other thing too I'm looking to is, you know, the last game, I think Newbee 5th banned Medusa or something like that. I'm looking at Slardar Lifestealer, and I'm thinking Medusa, because that hero owns Lifestealer and Slardar. You just pop ulti and they just cannot do anything, magic immunity or not. It's very, very hard to play into that. We'll see what the game plan is though here for EG.
I mean, I imagine Newbee here, they'll pick up one of their supports when they won't really want to reveal all their cores straight up, will they?
Oh no, definitely not.
There we go. They're going to be the Earth Spirit coming through. Proof of the side of Newbee, a hero that we're yet to see this series. And again, another hero that can kind of deal with an IO, you know what I mean? It certainly makes IO's game harder, because it's one of those heroes that is going to be able to silence or stun an IO from a distance.
Yeah, it's especially too if you know how to set up for the relocates. Like really good Earth Spirits can like boulder smash and grip on the relocate, and then it's it's similar to having like that Tide Hunter or a Witch Doctor where you just get the guaranteed disable whenever they're trying to go around for a gank. But I don't think that EG are the team that necessarily rely on relocate ganks so much. I think they actually just like the utility of IO in the early game, like having the free bottle, being able to enable heroes to chase you down and go for the early game aggression. That's, I feel like, what their strongest attribute is in regards to running this hero. But yeah, the Earth Spirit for me has been a little bit hit or miss. I see it and I'm kind of like, okay, it's pretty good, but I've seen Earth Spirits fall flat a lot lately.
Well, EG picking up the spam. One of the ways to deal with that Slardar lifesteal, in a sense, that war cry. Certainly going to make it a little harder for Slardar and lifesteal to get themselves in, take someone down, and get themselves out.
Yeah, this is a manly lineup. This is there's a bunch of melee strength heroes again. Actually, every single hero in this game that has been picked is a strength hero.
Potential for mid lane Timber to come through for Newbee then?
Why not? They have IO and Axe. Axe doesn't naturally build BKB until much later into the game. It's still a really solid hero. They have enough lockdown to be able to abuse the Timber's damage as well.
And also, another one of those heroes that's still there, Andy. The Oracle's still in the mix. Is he just not as good this game for either side? There's not really a space for it?
It's still alright, but I think you typically want to pick Oracle into a hero that has some super hard initiation.
There's your Timber.
Yeah, there's your Timber.
This just seems...
Why would you not pick Timber in this game?
I mean, I'm sure EG must have expected this as well. They must, these last two picks, they must have some kind of answer for Timber. So, I mean, that's their second support. Obviously, I mean, Kotl's still there. Is there any way you can kind of run a Kotl against Newbee's lineup?
Yeah, Kotl's good. Kotl's definitely good against their heroes. Because Mana Leak it destroys 3 of them. Like, Lifestealer can kind of deal with it a little bit, but everybody else, like Timber would be forced into building an early Yules. Earth Spirit needs like a Yules or a Lotus or whatever. It is a very frustrating hero to play against for sure. It's either that, or you get to another support that can actually deal some damage. I've seen a lot of Skywraths in the past against like these types of lineups as well. And it can be really strong because you get a Blink Axe Call into a Mystic Flare and whatnot, and you can kill anybody, more or less. It just depends on if they want to play it a bit greedier, which would be the Kotl pick, or if they want to just go sheer out aggression, which would be something like a Skywrath, or, maybe they just go something else and get Sustained, because they don't have much. And yep, there's the Dusa. Okay.
Yep. You mentioned it earlier, some way that they can deal with kind of a lifesteal and Slardar running at them. And also someone, I guess, that you can put obviously in the... it's going to be Sumail in the mid lane playing it.
Yeah.
And isn't too fussed about what Earth Spirits and such running them earlier on. As long as they hit a couple of levels, you should be able to walk off in time for a support to TP in and help you.
Yeah, it's really easy for him to live, especially considering it's most likely a Timber mid. So if it's Timber mid against Dusa, you just get that Mystic Snake going. Yeah, you just blast him, and he has a real bad time. So yeah, I think EG are looking alright at the moment, even barring the Timber Saw pick, which I still think is good against most of their team. And I gotta say, we've done well this draft, man. We've literally called like almost all their heroes.
Okay, call this ban, Andy, quick, on the spot.
Oh god, I don't know what they're gonna ban here. As a support for sure, but I don't know what they're really scared of per se. I still think stuff like Dazzle, Oracle, okay, they're gonna get rid of that
we mentioned the Oracle. We did say.
Yeah, but I think we were talking about it for Newbee.
I was talking about it for EG, Andy. What are you on about?
Were you?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, wait a minute. I was not paying attention if that's what you were talking about.
All right, final ban for EG. Looking towards Newbee's lineup. They still need that second support. What are they going to ban here? You talked earlier about how the fact that some teams like to run the kind of the Slardar and Witch Doctor combination. Have that Death Ward.
That's a really potent one. It's good against IO as well. It's a very good ban at this stage.
And Witch Doctor is indeed still here. Are EG worried about the old WD? We'll see. Or is there something else that comes to mind that's they just do not want to deal with? And it's going to be the Keep of the Light ban. They themselves. Wyvern instantly picked up here for Evil Geniuses. I mean, it's good.
Like for this game, it's crazy good.
It's
because if you think about it, a lot of their heroes are very single target focused, right? So like Slardar and Lifestealer, they want to jump on you and they want to just blow you up. And having the Winter's Curse and having the Cold Embrace like stops that momentum just straight up.
Silencer. Well, we wouldn't have called that, but that is going to be the selection here for Newbee. And I mean, obviously one of those heroes that you see two supports, Wyvern and IO, that are heroes that are going to be looking for crucial saves in these team fights. And Silence is going to put an end to that. So a nice little way of Newbee finishing off the draft. But yeah, the Wyvern, it's going to be interesting to see because there's obviously a lot of potential. You know, obviously with the curse and then into Stone Gaze. Obviously you can't do damage during the curse, but you could definitely use it to set up a beautiful Stone Gaze from Samael or allow Universe to just walk in for a call. There's just so many ways of different kind of setup and combinations out from EG this game. But Newbee's lineup is looking like a lot of fun as well. This is going to be a great game 4. In your eyes, is there a draft that you feel is the superior one?
I think this is like a super even draft, actually. I would normally favor the team with the Dusa, but the Silencer pick actually fixes so many of the problems that Newbee had.
Yeah.
So when they want to initiate, what would typically happen is you would either see a Cold Embrace, a Winter's Curse, or a Dusa ulti, right? But if you initiate and you have the Silencer to just global on top of it, as long as Faith has his timing, you kill that hero, like every time. Because the Slardar is going to go in with the Lifestealer, you have a Timber as well. The burst damage on their team is insane. So with that addition, I think as long as they're fighting around their ultimates properly and they have a decent early game, yeah, they certainly have a shot. But the reverse is also true, where if the global is not utilized properly, and Stone Gaze and Curse and all these other utilities from EG are able to be used, it's going to be a rough road. So again, it's going to come down to who plays better.
Well, this is going to be quite an exciting game indeed, and it's kind of nice in the last 2 games as well. This series has really kind of taken us on a magical adventure of all the different avenues of Dota. We're seeing new stuff straight up to now. And Crit with a very nice looking cosmetic set, I must say. That is pretty.
Yeah, I think that hero actually only has 2 sets, and that's one of them.
Oh, looking pretty fabulous there, Crit.
Is that the Warhammer set?
I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, I think you're right with that. I think you are right with that.
Oh, by the way, just a little note. There was a ward placed very early by Kaka. He pretty much rolled in bottom in place and it immediately got dewarded, so that's going to be a little bit of a bummer there for KP, as he will not have any vision in his off lane.
Well, he goes in for the D-ward of the D-ward.
I mean, he gets the value tango, I guess, but he's not taking any damage.
Well, lane-wise, what are we going to have? Nothing aggressive necessarily coming out, as it will be both carries sticking to their own safe lanes this time round. Something that we've seen Newbee kind of switch up in a few of these games as they've tried to go head on with Arteezy. But I guess just respecting the fact that this is quite a potent lane. Immediately with the jumping onto KP, and KP, he's already used the crush. He's going to try for the TP out. Will just get himself back. But as we're seeing, you've got to be careful down here, as these boys on the side of EG pack a fair bit of a punch.
Yeah, fortunately for Slardar, he is one of the tankier level 1 heroes. He's got pretty decent starting strength, 5 base armor, and he's got a stout as well. So he is going to be pretty darn beefy. And in regards to the lanes, I'm curious to see how this mid matchup goes, because I feel like Medusa should have not a horrible time, but I guess the Timber can always just shove the wave. We'll have to see in time how well Sumail is able to do here.
See down at the bottom, Arteezy doing a good job with the help of the supports of bullying out. Slardar. And Universe, as we can see, straight into the jungle is going to be the option. He is avoiding the lane with the Lifestealer and the Silencer in, and is this understandably so, Andy? There's no point laning?
You don't go there. The one reason why you would want to go to the off lane in this situation is if there was another support besides Silencer who had kill potential if he was roaming. So sometimes what an offlaner will do is they will go to the lane, sacrifice their own farm in order to prevent the supports from pressuring another part on the map. And he doesn't need to do that because Silencer just doesn't roam. The hero's he doesn't do anything. He doesn't offer a disable, it's just damage. So with that being said, they don't have any way of really killing unless Kaka lands some like Baller or Spirit, Boulder Smash, and Boulder in.
Down bottom again, KP getting gone on it. EG will finish it off this time. KP even swallowing a mango there, trying to get the last crush out to protect himself. But this is a tough lane indeed for KP, and he has gone all in on the poor man, so he can't really kind of just quickly pick up an Iron Talon and start to clear up some camps, and does not have the luxury of a Universe on the Axe to be able to avoid the laning stage. As this is getting tricky for KP, he does need help, and we're going to see Kaka come back down here. But yeah, first blood for EG. Oh, a little bit of a rolling from Kaka, looking to Artur. Still only just level 1, not a lot more that he can do there. And that bottom lane going very well for the side of EG. The mid lane matchup, even at the moment, Sumail and SEC pretty much on par in terms of farm. But obviously, yeah, for the offlaners, Universe is getting the jungle complete. And U9 on the safe lane, finding the same as RTZ, but he doesn't have the bonus of getting involved in a kill.
Yeah, I think also important to note that Sumail's been pressured a bit. Like, Kaka made a rotation mid before he went bottom, so even though Sumail's been pressured to a small degree, he is falling behind now, as SC is just burning all of his mana to push the creep wave out. Yeah, early game still favoring EG. They're just getting a bit more out of their off-lane pick.
Now this is smart as well from EG. They see, of course, Faith has come down here to try and help KP a little bit, and immediately Universe, he just came up to top, cleared out a wave, knows that it's safe to do so with the fact that Lifestealer now on his own. Bottom lane getting stuck in again, KP going for the crush, but it has to be the crush and run, trying to get himself out of here. RTZ's got a Stormhammer in 5 seconds. He's looking to chase down Faith with the war cry. He's going to have the Stormhammer. Faith in a lot of trouble. There's going to be another kill on this bottom lane. Artur, can he get out though? Kaka and KP have their eyes on him. Kaka has got a stone. No spells at the moment. In fact, Zai as well, trying to save RTZ. He could be the one to kind of bail him out, but no, Zai tethers across. And Kaka, he has a roll and a smash, but it's not going to be enough as Zai heals RTZ back up. And EG get away with that play there, just kind of wrapping around behind that tier 1 and getting themselves back out to safety thanks to Zai.
Yeah, that was very nicely done by everybody. I mean, it seems like EG have kind of, regained their footing after second game, where there was a lot of really small things that should not have gone wrong. But yeah, so far, seems like they're doing very, very well in the lanes. They have this Axe who's sitting at the highest CS right now. He's got his full Tranquils. He's almost level freaking 6 and it's 4 minutes in. He's higher level than the safe lane Lifestealer. Like, that's how you know that Newbee are having a rough time in the early game, because they just don't have the roaming potential.
And at the moment, obviously with Faith sitting down on the silencer, he can help put a little pressure onto RTZ, but it really is nothing more than just that. Still with a backup of Zion crit. Very, very good supports that just allowing this Sven to feel very safe in the lane, and as we saw, just feel safe diving around past tier 1s as they can keep him alive and self-sustain so well. Kaka, he himself, he has hit level 3, but still yet to really find an opening to go in on. And as we said as well, back to the draft, the fact that they do run this Medusa, it's very hard for these supports of Newbee to do anything about in this laning stage.
Yeah, if you have some wand charges, you basically get like almost double the health value with low points in the mana shield. So when you do get ganked and you have that stick, it just makes it impossible to really take her down. You need like 3 heroes minimum, and that's hoping that EG doesn't react in some way, which obviously at this level of Dota you just you assume.
And Universe, as we can see, 6 minutes in, he's already going to look to get that triple stack up as well, so the Ancient's looking in good shape as well for EG to take later on in the game. It'd be interesting to see if they do give that to the Axe or to Sven. I imagine they probably will give it to Universe, won't they? Because his Vanguard blink timing is going to be pretty crucial. Well, bottom lane, moving on to KP. Got the crush. TP actually coming in as well. U9's actually going to come down, see if he can find anything to clear this one up. He has a Rage and an open wounds. Can he feel that he can actually go in on this one? In fact, they're going to turn their attention towards Crit. It went out for a TP there. Nearly gets a boulder smash to the face. He'll be able to escape. SC still with the eyes onto RTZ. They're coming in full pressure on this bottom lane. Artur's still got a Stormhammer though, so it's hard for SC to go in on this. Newbee have the full 5-man down here towards the bottom. And they find nothing, and this just opens up the map for Sumail to continue the pressure on mid, and for Universe to continue to just find a free lane up top.
Yeah, this is really nice early game movement from EG. They're basically making Newbee waste a tremendous amount of time. They're going for a dive onto Zai.
Yeah, Zai's been left alone. He can't play his way out of this one. So Newbee will finally find the kill. Not the kill that they're necessarily looking to come out for at the start, as they would have loved to find Artur. They do get a kill nonetheless. And in fact, talking about RTZ, he's got his eyes up on the top lane. KP, he hasn't got mana for Crush. He's got no way of getting himself out of this. Universe comes in, hits off the call, and KP getting dunked down. So they may have lost the IO down bot, but RTZ quick to get himself involved in some action up on the top lane, and EG 3-1 looking to be absolutely back on form as they were at the start of this series.
Yeah, I mean, the bright side here for Newbee is that they will at least be able to trade tier 1s. They're not going to be able to defend their own, but they're going to get EGs in return. So this one's not just like a net loss. Yeah, KP going down is a little bit of a bummer, but for the time being, the Lifestealer is still getting a lot of farm, Timber is still getting a lot of farm, and the influx of Tower Gold will help out as well.
a tower for tower trade. And also, yeah, with that gold U9 closing in on the armlet. As we can see, Samao 51 for 6. Still ahead of SC's 40 for 4. As SC did try and move around the map a little bit, and it's starting to hurt him. But it's still early days, of course, 8 minutes in. And even though it's 3-1, Newbee are still keeping the gap close. So yeah, just only a 1k lead at this stage. Very, very close indeed. Maybe about to get a bit bigger though, because Universe will head over to the stacks to clean them for themselves up. And of course, no way that Newbee can do anything to contest this, so Universe gets that dollar for free here, and 2.5k gold. This time round, actually, a little bit different. I guess because he feels he has these supports, you know, the Wyvern and the Eye, he just goes straight in for the blink, realizing that they've got good momentum now, and they want to abuse that EG.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea. Normally, the Vanguard I still think is a good choice, just because, you know, you're the ones who are applying pressure to Newbee, because you have, in my opinion, like the superior late game. The only X factor is the silencer. Like I mentioned, if the globals are on point, then there is a chance for Newbee to make these big team fights happen, but that's not until the Slardar has Blink. And KP does not have 66 creep kills at 9 minutes into the game. He is having a significantly harder time than Universe. So you have this very large window to where going to Vanguard and the Blink would still be effective, whereas getting the Blink now just means that your initiation window is larger before KP is able to really do anything about it. And the other thing too is, I guess, since Faith isn't 6, and there's no global on the field, they might say that, okay, if we can get even 1 or 2 tier 1s off this Blink because Faith isn't 6 yet and he has no global, then it's a worthwhile investment. Because then we get an objective before their full teamfight potential is online. And I mean, heck, Kaka's only level 4, so they don't have to worry about Magnetize for a good while.
Well, let's see if the Universe does get that big play with that Blink. Coming out towards mid. Let's see what kind of opening they get. Arteezy with the helm done. Crit has a smoke. Ready if they want to try and go for that play. And also nearly hitting level 6 on the Wyvern. And this, ooh, they don't want to smoke here. That there's a ward down for Newbee. The Universe and Crit go from this angle. And it's going to be a little hard for them to get something successfully done with it. At the least, Newbee should have noticed that the Blink is out on Universe. They're not going to smoke, and now they will. So Newbee, I think they'll be they should be aware of this one. And indeed, U9 and Faith maybe preparing to back up. I mean, as I say, they're still hanging around fairly close. I know it. U9, he's got to be careful. He's playing around with the wave, Universe. Looking to close in, and he hangs around too long. U9 gets jumped on by Universe, falling down. The dunk's there to finish it. Newbee gets a free kill.
Oh, relocate?
Side. Where's he relocating to? Just a mini tiny relocate to the side. Maybe seeing if you can catch Faye hiding in the tree line. But it wasn't to be the case. Just a little bit too short there, Zai.
I think he was assuming that Newbee were going to put more heroes down here to try to defend, and that he didn't need to relocate that far because they would just stand their ground. That's my assumption, at least. But yeah, it's alright. They still end up getting a really high value kill. And again, if Faith was 6 there, that global silence probably would have saved him.
Yeah.
And then they might have been able to turn that fight. But nice timing. Blink Dagger is going to get a kill. Doesn't result in an objective. Either way, though. Universe looking for maybe more.
Jumps in, looks for the call. He will catch SC actually. Does bring him back a little bit, but they don't have quite the damage to bring down that big old timber. SC treks back. And as you said, just the next fight will be a little bit harder for EG because of that global online. And we'll see how...
Oh, they just want to go. Newbee are like...
Yep. With Kaka, they've got the Lysander bomb.
Yep.
And what's he got? It's just the armlet and the Blightstone put phase, but that's enough. If they can get the slow and the stun on someone,
they have vision as well in the woods.
They'd love to go for it. There's no relocate as well either. Still 10 seconds before that's off, and Arteezy's going to walk straight into this one. There's the boulder smash, immediate lockdown onto the Sven, and Artor is gone. There's the call. Universe not actually catching anyone. Samel's coming with the Stone Gaze. They're trying to find something in return. They'll freeze up KP, but they can't follow through onto Faith. They've got to be careful, EG. The full 5-man of Newbee is here. Samel still kind of teasing around with it. Throws out a snake. But yeah, Newbee, at the end of the day, they get away with the kill for free, and it's a good one as well, and all down to that ward placement.
Yeah, they didn't even have to use global for that too, which is a really good thing. I mean, getting a core kill and not having to commit an ulti is the dream, more or less, for Newbee at this point. Alright, so I guess Crit is just farming for arcanes at this point. He didn't TP back mid. I don't think he had much mana for the team fight regardless, but I still think Newbee have a lot of work to do. It's going to be a rough game if you just keep letting the Sumail Medusa farm away.
And Sumail, nearly with that Dragon Lance complete. 100 gold and had that one done in the bag. Universe going for the Blade Mail, so totally skipping the Vanguard, at least for this moment in the game. So he can get
I think it's good
really
against Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Because when you taunt Lifestealer, he heals a lot through Feast. I mean, granted you have very high armor, but you want something that's actually going to be able to deal some form of damage, and it can also be used very effectively against heroes like Timber, who want to really just go in and be that frontline hero and deal a ton of DPS. So Blade Mail is a great item in this game, no doubt.
Well, towards the top Universe, feeling confident as he continues to push this lane in. Keeping himself just out of Vision's way at the moment. Mid lane, Sumail has the backup of Crit just in case anyone goes on them, as ig is playing this portion carefully just in case Newbee try and make a jump. They know that that global's still there and available. Actually split up, but as we can see, just the cause of Arteezy and Sumail just being supported, backed up by at least a +1 just in case anything goes down. Universe the only one that's having to man mode it on his own at the moment. But it's working out for ig. They're continuing to find the farm. Push these lanes in both bottom and middle and try and finish off some of these tier 1s and take those away from Newbee. Sumail and with the Dragon Lance complete. He's got a DD as well ready for the next fight. And he should be able to finish off this tower. We'll see if anyone tries for a deny, but no, they're just going to let it go. And Sumail finishes off the tower. More money into the bank for this Snake Lady and top of the net worth board, or all three of the cores of ig. They're sitting there at the moment.
Yeah, this is kind of the issue. They really need Blink on KP. Like, that's going to be where they start to feel a lot more comfortable taking these fights, because he's the guaranteed initiation. You know, before they used Kaka's Rolling Boulder to be the vessel for the Lifestealer, but it's much more reliable having a Slardar with the Blink. And once, you know, he gets 240 some odd more gold, you know, KP's going to have that, and then maybe we're going to see Newbee try to make an aggressive move across the map. But the longer they wait, like, this Medusa is going to start to become a real freaking issue, and see an Ancient stack being taken here right now by Arteezy. He's got the Echo Saber pretty much done. And he gets the Blink after this, and it's going to be like everything ig needs to this fight.
This is certainly the eg of Game 1 and Game 2 coming through this match. In Game 4, 1 game away from securing the title here at the MDL LAN Championships eg. And here in this 4th match, it certainly seems to be a strong start. As Newbee still yet to really kind of find their footing. But at the same time, we're yet to see them really fight with kind of full utilization of the 2 supports. You know, we're yet to see kind of Kaka and Faith come in with the Global Silence and the Magnetize and have that chance of taking down eg. As you said, yeah, Echo Saber on Artor, eg very much ready for the fight if it comes to them. And it looks like it potentially will, as the smoke's there from Newbee. KP, ready with U9 inside him. And they'll look to lead towards the bottom lane, but eg, they're grouped up. They are there as the full 5-man. They should be ready to kick back if Newbee try and jump.
Oh, the supports need to be in a better position than this for ig. Okay, Crit's in a good spot right now.
Oh, Zai's not though. He's going to take the full brunt here. The jump in onto Zai. The Global Silence has been popped. They look towards Sumail, trying to bring him down low. Sumail did get the Stone Gates off in time, and in fact, Arteezy chops down Faith. U9 has to back away as they're chasing it down here. eg, they only lost 1 off the start of this fight. KP
nice crush.
coming in with a 3-man crush. SC with the Chakram. Oh, it's a huge play there from KP setting this up. But Arteezy moves towards SCCC. U9's found himself the triple kill though. Artor in trouble. And again, KP really on this Slardar, setting up these big plays. He even managed to chase down and kill Sumail off the back of it. eg getting team wiped. I mean, KP, you said once he gets the blink, things are going to start to turn around, and it certainly happened there. The combination of him and the Timbersaw, and eg just kind of fighting around that spot. They were grouped up, and Newbee just punished the hell out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of things. The first one is Zai couldn't do anything because they initiated on him with Global and a Blink Stun. So he just dies, right? There's no save, there's no Winter Wyvern ulti, there's no Cold Embrace, he's just dead. So they're starting the fight 4v5, and they end up killing a hero on the side of Newbee that pretty much expended all of his abilities. And KP is able to get out of the fight and re-engage. That's one of the scariest things about Blink Slardar, is he is so fast that once he gets out of the fight, his Blink Dagger is going to be up in a couple of seconds, he gets a re-initiation, And at that point, you know, EG have pretty much thrown all of their abilities out. And then the 3-man Chakra, Timber Chain, and Whirling Death just annihilated them. That was very nicely played there from Newbee.
And now for the next fight. Echo Saber's complete on U9. And SCCC has the Bloodstone done. EG, they're going to try for a Roche attempt here. There's no global. 27 seconds until that's back. So you could have a chance here, but it's being scanned out. Newbee, they're on their way over. And they are ready to try and do something. They have magnetized everything apart from the global silences here. And even that may come back just in time for this. Throw the Chakram out, trying to spook EG. RTZ with the DD doing quick work here against the Roshan. SC might try for a bit of a play. There's the jump. Goes immediately onto Samel. Drops the magnetize, but Samel just pops the Stone Gaze, looking to secure Roshan. They will be able to. They'll take Roche. Age is picked up by Samel. They might even get a kill off the back of it as well. Looking to Kaka. The Stormhammer comes out. EG will find the kill on the Earth Spirit. They get a kill. They get the Roche. They get the Aegis. Very nicely done there for EG, and Newbee just unable to get themselves in position to contest it at the right time there.
That was a really nice call, though, from EG, recognizing the global cooldown and what they could actually accomplish during its downtime. That is a move that they actually needed to make, because if every single fight starts off by Newbee globaling and initiating with a stun, you're pretty much going to lose all of those fights, until at least like Lotus Orbs or Rules comes out on anybody. Or I suppose maybe a Ghost would save the IO if he had it, but I'm not sure if he'll go for that or not. But yeah, a much needed objective taken there from EG. They do manage to get the tower as well. But, you know, again, Newbee have all of their ultimates available in a couple of seconds. I don't think Magnetize is super important. I mean, it's a little bit of damage, but it's more about the global and the stun. Because U9 plus an amplified damage is going to shred anything on EG.
Yeah, he really is. He really is with that armor, Echo Saber. Just looking back towards RTZ. And... okay, RTZ this game, picks up the Ogre Club. So
oh, he's not going Blink, okay.
Yeah, he's going to go for the BKB first, and... well, that...
against Global, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, against Newbee's lineup, yeah.
If he has BKB, then he can be the one who actually, like, pops BKB, potentially saves one of the supports before they die. Or, obviously, he himself can dispel and amplify damage, or, you know, just pop his abilities. It's very, very important.
Look at this Newbee going for a smoke. Last time we saw them do this, it was very, very... very nice for them as they're able to wipe EG. See if they can go for a similar sort of a play. They go for the wraparound here. And this could catch EG off guard at the moment. They're just focusing on the Ancients. KP looking for the jump, and he hits the 2-man crush. Sai getting bursted immediately. The global comes out. Universe tried to come in, but the global was there in time, so he couldn't get the call off. There'll be a cold embrace. Now the Winter's Curse. Can they turn this? RTZ being healed up by Sai, getting the damage out with the gold strength. U9 falling low. They managed to take one. They take two. RTZ looks towards SCCC. He's going to find the Timbersaw as well. Faith on the retreat, but the relocate's there from Sai. Faith trying to TP out. He's not going to make it. Newbee lose 4. EG there, turning it around, and a lot of it down to Crit, keeping the team alive there with the cold embrace and the Winter's Curse, and oh my goodness, they've found KP as well. This time, it looks to be EG wiping the floor with Newbee's blood. KP, he'll try and get himself out. They don't, of course, have to blink, so KP might be able to escape it. It looks like he will just be able to find his way back to base, so they're not getting the full 5 this time. But EG there with the turnaround, and as we can see, you know, during the global silence, it's great for Newbee, but as soon as that's off, it just becomes so hard to fight into EG's lineup.
Yeah, I think actually U9 needs one more damage item. Like, if he can get a Deso or something, then I think it will turn out a lot better. Because they can pop the Wisp, sure, but if they can kill the Sven and the Wisp together before, you know, any of the other supports on the team can do anything due to global, then that's like the best case scenario. The problem is, after that fight, you know, Sven's gonna have BKB really soon, which means that global initiation that you're relying on to get like this pressure and momentum going for you is not really gonna be as effective. You'll still kill a support, but you won't be able to deal any damage really to the core, because he'll BKB and he'll pop Warcry straight up, and that's another, you know, 20 armor. So with the Ogre Ice armor that he has, he's sitting at like 40, 41 armor, give or take. That's it's a pretty tanky Sven.
He's going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with in these fights. Even though it's fair to say that he already is, as shown in that last one. And yeah, you're damn right. This U9, he needs that next item. He needs that Deso to have a chance of killing the bigger cores. The push comes down mid. EG bringing it together now. The tier 2 will start to drop. And again, EG, they have all their ults online. So do Newbee. Both teams ready for the potential to look for another clash. SC was pushing in the top lane. TP's back to join the rest of the team. They don't have U9 with them, but he does have the TP. Now he'll back up. EG able to get one of the wards up on the high ground here as well against Newbee.
They do have global here.
At the moment, some out. Just carrying out the waves. Starting to get a bit of tickle damage onto the tier 3. That's how EG feeling in no rush at the moment. They'll back off, back away. Somehow pretty much with the Hurricane Pike complete. And I guess that's the thing as well. Newbee's lineup, because they've got this Medusa Sven combination. Sorry, EG's lineup with the Medusa Sven. That they're in no real rush this game, are they?
No, I don't think so. I think the global is going to become less and less effective as the game goes on as well, because more supports are going to be able to buy items to either dispel themselves or at least be able to survive during that global. And then you're going to have to worry about, like, okay, what does Fate do if global isn't going to win in fight? Then the hero pretty much becomes useless. And that's one of the things that their lineup kind of... It's one of their main problems. The Silencer, his globals need to win fights. If they're not winning fights, then there's no point in having the hero on your team.
It really feels like Newbee, what they need is KP again to hit these kind of 3-man crushes and then have SC following through with the damage. Oh, top lane crit, he has been spotted out here. Trying to get himself away. Kaka actually off the point there. There's crit with the juice. I think he might just get away with this one, and he will. He's out.
Base created.
Yeah, the full 5-man of Newbee up there. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5 heroes just rotated around to try to kill him. In the meantime, the Aegis is gone, so EG no longer going to have that second life on Sumail. He is very close to finishing up the Manta, though. I still think EG are looking alright. Newbee have a couple more team fights left in them that they can still like turn the game and put themselves at a really big advantage. But if they mess up like 1 or 2 more, it's going to be real bad.
And there's that iron pickup we talked about for U9. The Desolator's complete. So this time if they get the jump during that global silence, U9's got the chance of bringing down, as you said, not just Zai on the IO, getting a core as well, and making the fight that little bit easier for Newbee. But EG, of course, at the moment, looking very, very scary indeed. And you really, really do need to kill these cores through the duration of that silence. And obviously Arteezy with his BKB. And as you said, Sumail pretty much has the Manta done. That global silence is really diminishing in its effectiveness in these team fights.
Yeah. It's kind of a timing that Newbee really want to hit. And the first time they showcased it, it hit hard, right? Like they did everything perfectly. KP played great, Fate's timing on the global was on point, and everything looked to be like it was falling in place. But after items start coming out on the enemy team and you're just playing a position 4, position 5 silencer, you know, Mantas and BKBs and Lotus Orbs and Yules and all these other things, they're gonna make your hero useless. And that's why it's such like it's an all-in type of support. But I still think it was the right idea. It's just a matter of Newbee being able to force the issue enough. And they already have the Lifestealer invested in the KP here, so...
And they really want to do something big with that. We saw them kind of hiding in the tree line up top just in case EG were going to come back and defend. But EG, under the cover of smoke, Universe leading the charge. Ready to fight, but then again, so are Newbee. See who gets the first perfect jump, EG. Can they find anything here? Newbee are keeping themselves off to the side. Blink now purchased by Arteezy as well. Crit. Oh, he's going to be spotted here. And what's up? And there's the call. And Universe gets out Kaka. Arteezy pops the BKB. Working through the Earth Spirit. First Kaka drops the Magnetize, but Kaka, he's out of the fight. They have lost Crit. It's a 1-for-1 at the moment. EG seeing if they can chase for more. Artur has that blink off in a second, but he's not going to go too aggressive. They'll just leave it as that. The 1-for-1 trade. But obviously favourable here for the side of EG.
They went for a reload as well.
Yeah, Newbee have used that global silence. And so KP, looks like they're not going to chase him down for the time being. KP will be able to keep himself up, but 1-for-1 trade. But the fact that the silence is on cooldown, that's kind of the big blow. But at the same time, it kind of feels like what does the matter, because it's very hard for Faith to find a good silence now because of the ways they can remove it.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's the bigger point is that Roshan's up, and I don't think, I don't think that Newbee know just yet, but they will soon, and EG already scouted it out because they have the Ice Ogre in the pit. So without Global, I don't really think there's any worry for EG. They're just like, yeah, alright, let's just go kill it. Because Global is such a huge part of Newbee's game plan, and without that utility, I mean, they're gonna try, because I think they kind of have to, but it's not gonna be easy.
Eyes on KP here to find the big initiation, to find the big The big blink crush. He's going to lead in, jumps in. He will catch two of them here. Looking for Crit first. Crit gets forced out to the side. Crit's still alive for this all. Kakra and Yunai pulling those. RTZ just choking through the lineup. 2 dead on Newbee. EG head back into the pit with only 3 alive. Newbee with minimal resources they can use to contest this. So EG should be able to clean out the Roshan. Oh, RTZ actually jumping forward. Oh no. Flashbacks, if only he had a way of chopping down trees. RTZ, he sprouted himself there. He's got backup. He's okay. It was nearly a disaster. Zai comes across, has to relocate him out there. And actually relocates him in further deep. RTZ's found Faith. Zai managing to help Artur there past the tree situation. Now, last 2 will get out on Newbee. They haven't actually managed to finish off Roche, but I'm sure EG will head back into the pit.
They can just go do it now. Yeah. So, that fight, Blink Initiation from KP actually wasn't that bad. The issue stems from the fact that Universe was almost immediate in his reaction, and then Crit also got 4-staffed away by Sumail. So they had like 2 people within like a second just drop in to save him, and that's what happens when you don't have use of the global.
KP just going in for a crush onto Sumail. They're no slow. We're going to see any kind of spectacular play come through. SC jumps in, they're looking for the steal. Oh, they're not going to get it. You will find it, and now they're paying with their lives. Kaka to fall, SCC up to the high ground, but they're surrounding him. You were able to finish off Roche, get the Aegis, somehow dropping incredibly low. Will pop, but he has the Aegis. Yunai trying to make a goal onto RTZ. RTZ needs help. It doesn't look like he's going to get it. KP comes in with the cross. Zai just in time. Zai with the save. Artur survives. The call onto Yunai. Out comes the stone gauge from Sumail. They found the life stealer. They're chasing down KP as well. EG are doing it here as a 4th to hit the deck on the side of Newbee. Evil geniuses pulling it through. 18 to 10. And Zai there just with the clutch saves coming in and keeping RTZ in the game.
Man, that was very well executed from EG. And for a second there, I thought that Newbee were going to turn it back around because, you know, RTZ's at like 5% health and KP's still full and they're chasing him. And all of a sudden, he just gets a turnaround stun, going for a call here.
Jumps immediately in onto the timber summon with the damage. He's falling low. SC will be able to get himself out with the timber chain. Universe fairly low as well. So they'll back away. And Newbee will have the full lineup back up in the game. We'll have a look at the net worth difference now. So I can imagine it's starting to spiral a little bit out of control. I say a little bit, a lot of it. It's over 15,000 net worth lead now for Evil Geniuses. They're in a very, very good position at this stage.
Yeah,
and Newbee, they need something big. And, well, Sumail? He has not got any friends here. And they'll try and walk it off. Maybe that's going to be enough. Zai's coming down. Zai's like, alright, I'll save you as well. There's the ult from Crit, holding back the side of Newbee. Universe, he comes in. He hits the 3-man call. Newbee caught in the midst of it all, but they're still punching into Sumail. Kept alive there by the cold embrace from Crit. Alright, into the creep. RTZ jumping in onto Faith. Newbee, they're going to lose their silencer. And EG now ready to go in for a push. Again, Zai and Crit just doing God's work here for the side of EG, keeping the course alive. And they're ready to push. Silencer does have buyback. He does have the global silence. We'll see if Faith uses it. As we can see, Yunai just casually riding himself back to base there in the range creep. He'll get himself back to safety. But EG, they really, really are on the verge of doing it here at MDL and getting that championship title for RTZ and the boys.
This game is... This is a tough climb for Newbee if they want to make their way back into this one.
Oh,
There's not enough damage anymore. That's really the other problem. It's like we've talked a lot about global, and yes, it's very important for the team, but the real issue lies right now in their ability to actually kill somebody, because everybody's starting to get more items. Like they're so far behind in progression that, you know, there's 1, 2, sometimes even more items up on the cores right now. Like U9's just been sitting on his Desolator for a while. The only thing he's gotten since that is a freaking chainmail. Like that ain't helping that much. It's certainly not helping cut through Sumail, who has like 4,000 effective HP or something ridiculous like that.
Oh, like tried to come over with the smoke, but the balls from Zai there, tickling onto the old timber sword. KP still trying to look for jumping, but no, he gets jumped upon. KP's out. U9, he's out of the box. But look at the damage coming from EG. Lifestealer's down as well. That's 2 dead on the side of Newbee. Neither with buyback available in EG. They may not be done yet. They're looking to chase for more. They've got their eyes on Faith. There's going to be a blink in a second. And a few, in fact, from RTZ, but they're chasing deep. And they're going in hard here. Faith's out as well. Double kill for Samael. And EG immediately onto the tier 3s. No buyback available for KP. No buyback available for U9. EG at the least, they're going to be able to get this set of racks up at the top by the looks of it. We'll see how careful they play. SC jumps in. And that's enough actually to hold them off. Newbee, if they can pull off the defense here, it'll be pretty big for them. They need everything they can get at this part of the game where they're so far behind. Greaves now done on crit. Now looks like EG paying a bit of respect here for the side of Newbee, and that they're not going to go full in. 10 seconds and Newbee would have had the full lineup back up. EG content and just backing off, and you know, as we said, they know that they're not going to push it too much. They've got this strong draft that spirals very nicely out of control as the game goes on, especially with the lead that they've got. 20,000 net worth.
Yeah, there's no reason to push it. I mean, if you even wanted to wait for like 4 more Roshans, EG would be able to do that because their lineup just, it scales better. Newbee, once again, going for the Infest play. He's going to try to make something happen. Wait, who's the life? Okay, he's in SC this time, okay. Because normally he just goes into KP, but this time he's changed it up a bit. But at this stage, I mean, it's going to take EG, like, really messing this up to lose hold of this game.
Could it finally happen here? RTZ looking for that LAN win. With this current roster of EG, and this current roster of EG, it's looking great. I mean, for a first LAN, it's been a fantastic performance. Newbee as well, they've certainly had their strengths. We know that they can pull it together, but can they pull it together when there's this much of a fall behind for the side? Comparison and all impact on the backline. They manages to find in Crit, but Crit cold embraces himself. The burst from SCCC, it's not going to quite be enough. Crit still surviving. Universe with the call, so Crit, he's going to live through this. They will actually lose U9 on the lifestealers. RTZ and Side chase him down. Samael forcing Kaka back up to the high ground. The jump forward from Universe will get the battle hunger out. They'll chase him down as well. It's a second down on Newbee. EG finding 2. Did lose 2 on the back of it, as though KP able to try and draw the attention his way, so they find 2 in return, Newbee. So actually making the best of a bad situation here. Be a buyback though from Crit. KP looking for the TP out. Oh, he's not going to make it. The Dunkaroo from Universe. Finish him off. RTZ looking for SCCC. There's 3 dead on Newbee. So they managed to find something in return, but don't have buyback from KP. They need something more, Newbee. They need something big in Universe. He's going to find the call onto SCCC. Buyback from Kaka as well. And see being tracked down. KP comes in with the crush, but he's in the midst of it all now. RTZ, they're ready to chase down KP. It's going to be a dieback on the Slardar. SC in trouble as well. He timbers away. Got Light Street for Artur. He jumps in looking for SC. RTZ as well on the lockdown for Kaka. There's a buyback from the Timbersaw, but Kaka's out. There's no buybacks left on the 3 heroes on the sideline of Newbee. It's only down to U9 and SC to clean this up. They've got to do something big here. If they fall, this will be EG claiming the title. RTZ jumps in, takes down U9. The last man surviving, SC, surrounded by the boys in blue. Evil Genius is looking to do it, but oh, RTZ, he gets chopped down. SC making space at the moment. Can he actually stall this game long enough? No, Universe is there with the call, with the dunk down. EG team wiping Newbee. No buybacks available. EG will move in onto the mid-racks. And GG, well played, is called. Evil Geniuses have done it. Artur and the boys take their win here at MDL LAN, Andy, and in what spectacular fashion as well.
I mean, they did it. Newbee beat them in the previous match. I think it was the winter bracket final, right?
Yes.
And then they
knocked them down
today, and it was a 3-1. There was one game that looked a little bit shaky from the side of EG. I would say that pretty much in every single one of these matches, I felt EG's draft was very good, if not better. But the one game, obviously Newbee played very well, and they were able to bring it back at least to a 4th game. But all the credit in the world to the new EG lineup. A lot of people, I think, were kind of wondering if Crit would be able to lead a team because he's never really captained before, but he has some very cool ideas about how he wants to play the game, and it wins him a LAN.
It really does. EG doing it here. And yeah, as you said, it just a lot of this is, you got to look to Crit. He's got to feel good. Stepping up as he did. I mean, in Crit, in terms of kind of the whole general Dota radar, he's new in terms of the competitive scene. He's been running up for like maybe not even 2 years.
He's been around for a long time. It's just that
But
he
in
didn't really
terms
come
of
into the
being involved in
limelight.
Tier 1 play.
Yeah, that's true. That part is definitely true. But yeah, he's always been a ridiculously skilled player. I often used to compare him to Jerax because they have ridiculously high individual skill. But Jerax is more of the, I'm just a super good player, and I don't think he really likes the leadership role as much, whereas Crit obviously now transitioning into that captain's role. Yeah, he's already made a name for himself. I mean, their drafting was very different from the stuff that we used to see, out of PPD when he was running with the Evil Geniuses lineup, and it showed some pretty good success here at MDL.
Absolutely. Well, that's it from myself and Andy. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be able to cut over to looks like they might have some kind of interview or talk with EG on the stage, so we'll make sure you guys at home can hear that. But thank you very much for listening to me and Andy casting. You can, of course, find us, and you know where to find us. We'll see you around. And Andy, any last words?
I mean, it was fun. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I know I did.
Well, there we have it. We'll see you guys about. Enjoy the rest of the show here as we pass over to the Chinese lads and ladies.
Feel right now.
Feels good.
挺爽的吧？
Just good， 只是可不可以再 OK？
只是挺爽。
哇，那我们还是想问一下啊，这一次来到中国参加比赛，来到厦门，感觉怎么样？
How does this tournament feel in general coming to China for this MDL?
Feels pretty good, honestly. Yeah, feels pretty good. I don't know.
就是刚才一样，也是挺爽的。
我注意到他说 pretty good， 也就是说比刚才赢得比赛还要爽。那么我们最后2016年 MDL 秋季赛到这里就圆满结束了。大声告诉我冠军是谁，好不好 ？OK，please raise the bottle fairy。来，我们一起掌声中让他们举起这个狂战斧，好不好？在这里我们也是告诉大家。 恭喜一季！